Good grief, have you already forgotten about me? Such a cold-hearted men, Loki remarked. Wait, you are Loki-san? Kisaragi asked. She jumps down and says, you can drop the honorifics. Just Loki is fine. She climbs on the bed and says, I thought I finally had the chance to enjoy the outside world, but you've been bedridden this whole time. She asks, since you thoroughly bored me, you will make up for it, right? After a while, Kisaragi asked her, please tell me what happened after I fainted? Loki tells him that she carried him and teleported us to the beginner-rank dungeon. Then how did you get me to the hospital? Kisaragi asked. Hospital? Ooh, so that's what this place is called. While picking up an apple, she remarks, I left you in the dungeon while you were unconscious, so the passing adventurer could find you. But if you can teleport, why haven't you gone outside until now? Kisara inquired. Because I am a god, Loki replied, and to maintain my true form, I require vast amounts of mana particles. This world lacks those particles, so I can only manifest in my immature form. I wouldn't be able to move freely, would I? Kisaragi pondered. I suppose you'd be taken to the police station for protection. She smacked Kisaragi for saying that. Kisaragi asks another question. But why did you help me? As she was explaining that she needed his cooperation, she suddenly changed her mind and said, let's leave that for some other time. As she snapped her fingers, black smoke began to gather around her. Where are you going? Kisaragi inquires. She turns her head and says, until next time, Tsukasa, and vanishes in thin air. Kisaragi notices a familiar voice. No way. Tsukasa? It was his sister who was in the hospital. She jumps at him, holding him tightly. While crying, she mentions that you were in a coma and didn't wake up for a whole week. For a whole week, Kisaragi ponders. I am sorry, Mayu, for worrying you. She sobbed and said, if you two had left me, then I... He comforted her, assuring her that he wasn't going anywhere because they were both family. Mayu, holding her tears, happily nods. Anyway, I need to go keep resting, Mayu ponders. I know, and don't push yourself, Mayu, Kisaragi replied. With a bright smile, she mentioned that she had been feeling well lately. As she left, Kisaragi took a sigh of relief. Loki emerged again, questioning if she was his sister. Kisaragi confirmed, stating that she was indeed his sister, and the only family he had left. Mayu had been sickly ever since she was born. All the doctors had declared that there was no cure for her condition. That's why I've been delving into dungeons, searching for the cure to all ailments. After listening, Loki dropped a bombshell, mentioning that the medicine Kisaragi had been seeking wouldn't cure her sister's illness. Kisaragi was shocked and asked, what is she saying? She mentions that the source of her illness is most likely the dungeon curse. Kisaragi didn't know about it, so she explained further. Actually, it stems from a skill. I don't know who might have done it, but this is a work of another mythic rank being like me. Kisaragi asks, if that's the case, then taking down that being would break the curse, right? Loki promptly answered, correct. With determination, he called upon Loki, swearing to take down that being in order to cure his sister. Will you help me? Kisaragi asked. After thinking for a while, she stands up and says, very well. I will help, because I am curious who might have cursed her. Kisaragi thanked her. With that settled, we need to hit dungeons daily for your training. You'll need more experience to tackle a mythic ranked dungeon, Loki remarked. Kisaragi mentions, I'm eager, but I still have to attend school. Huh, school? What's that? Loki inquires. All of the students at Tengetsu Academy, the school I attend, are awakened. It's a specialized school for those aiming to become adventurers. Kisaragi showed his fist and remarked, either way, from now on we are going to be a team. Loki did a fist bump and said, indeed, I look forward to your cooperation, Tsukasa. 3 days later at the Japan Dungeon Management Organization. I'm afraid I can't allow you to enter the dungeon as a solo party. I figured, Tsukasa replied with embarrassment. Please consider the level difference, the girl mentioned and explained. When solo adventuring, it's only safe to tackle monsters below your level. You'll be evenly matched against monsters of the same level, the countergirl added. And when fighting against a higher level monster, there's a large spike in danger level, she emphasized. You're currently at level 4. The monsters in the beginner rank dungeon Goblin's Den are all at least level 5. I know it's not a large difference, but rules are rules. Loki telepathically remarked, "This insolence! Shall I turn her into mincemeat for you?" Don't say that. We agreed not to show them my real D card, remember? Kisaragi ponders. He thought as he took back his card. The JDMO still has my old data. It would be a pain if they found out. I'm level 25 now with a different skill set. Let's go, Loki. I don't want to cause a scene. She smiles and says, "It's still too early to turn back, Tsukasa. Try using wordplay instead. The results will be quite interesting." Tsukasa wonders, isn't it the skill I copied from her? It's forbidden to activate any skills here, but I'll give it a shot. Excuse me, would it be possible to enter a dungeon solo as the skill activates? The skill kicked in, the girl got hypnotized and quietly asked for his ID. Tsukasa nervously asks, "They won't figure out I used a skill, right?" Loki reassures him, saying that wordplay's activation can't be spotted. It's a skill from a god, after all. He glanced at her, wondering if he had underestimated her. Meanwhile, she returned his gaze, pondering if he was disrespecting her. After a while, they reached the dungeon gate, which connects to every dungeon and allowing to travel freely. He scans his D card and ponders while entering. No matter what dungeon I have to conquer or what monster I'll have to fight. If it's for Mayu, I'll even kill a god. Enjoying the journey so far? Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button to keep the adventure going.